Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. It's the brother Tuah Paryah from the Providence, Rhode Island camp. I'm just going to do a video going into Wisdom of Solomon, the 9th chapter. I was talking about Solomon earlier with somebody. Just basically just admiring, in a sense, admiring his wisdom and the way he was able to articulate his mind, the things that were put in his mind from on high was something that he prayed for, and Wisdom of Solomon, the 9th chapter, kind of goes into what his prayer was like. Matter of fact, let's go to the account here. I have it right here in 1 Kings, the 3rd chapter. I'm gonna read through it a little bit. Just gonna discern when to stop, but we're gonna go ahead and start here at verse 3. 1 Kings chapter 3 and 3. I hope this is edifying to whoever tunes in. Just a little bit of some insight on how we of the hopeful elect are to pray unto our God, unto our Father, Yahweh Shem Shai, in order to get through these days as the kings and priests of the earth. We are destined to be kings and priests of the earth. And what kings and priests do, they make judgment. All right, they judge the people. Now this is 1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 3. I'm going to read the Amplified Version. It says, "Now Solomon loved the Lord, walking at first in the statutes of David his father." Right? It says at first because eventually Solomon had fell short, fell weak to the flesh. All right, and by serving the gods of his wife, of his wives, right? But it says walking at first in the statutes of David his father, except for the fact that he sacrificed and burned incense in the high places, ignoring the law that required all sacrifices to be offered at the tabernacle. The king went to Gibeon near Jerusalem, where the tabernacle and the bronze altar stood, to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. And Solomon offered 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. And Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream at night. And the Most High said, "Ask me what I shall give you." And then Solomon said, "You have shown your servant David, my father, great loving kindness, because he walked before you in faithfulness and righteousness, and with uprightness of heart toward you. And you have kept for him this great loving kindness, in that you have given him a son to sit on his throne as it is today. So now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in the place of David my father. And as for me, I am but a little boy, and wisdom and experience. I do not know how to go out or come in, that is, how to conduct business as a king. Your servant is among your people, who you have chosen, a great people who are too many to be numbered or counted. So give your servant an understanding mind and a hearing heart with which to judge your people, so that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge and rule this great people of yours?" See, so, Solomon kept it simple, man. Solomon kept it simple. He just asked for, a mind to be able to judge the people. Because, most people today in this society, they're praying for things that aren't necessarily most profitable. The most profitable thing to pray for is spiritual things, increases in the spirit, different attributes of the fruits of the spirit. That's probably the best thing to pray for. See, because we trying to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. And the way we do that is by exercising the fruits of the Spirit. Walking as Yahweh Shai walked. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, as we continue, we're going to see that it says it pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. So the Most High, he's pleased when we set up prayers and ask for spiritual increases, a mind to be able to judge between good and evil. He gives us discernment, prudence, wisdom. You see, going on, it says, Yahweh said to him, because you have asked this and have not asked for yourself a long life, nor for wealth, nor for the lives of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to recognize justice, behold, I have done as you asked. I have given you a wise and discerning heart, mind, so that no one before you was your equal, nor shall anyone equal to you arise after you. See, Yahweh Shai said, I'm sorry. I was thinking, Yahweh Shai said there's one that is greater than Solomon, because Solomon was a high name. It was a very, very important. He was a very important figure in our history. The wisest man that ever walked the earth until Yahweh Shai came, which through the Spirit, Yahweh Shai is Solomon. But it says, I have also given you what you have not asked, both wealth and honor, so that there will not be anyone equal to you among the kings for all your days. Now, if you walk in my ways, keeping my statutes and my commandments as your father David did, then I will lengthen your days. You see, and this is clean, cut, and dry. This is how the Most High works. You walk and follow after the ways of the Most High, He gonna reward you. You seek after the things that are more pleasing, like increases in the spirit or sound mind. He gonna give you that and some. But from there, jump into Wisdom of Solomon 9, because it kind of just piggybacks off of the things that Solomon prayed about. Okay, but it says Wisdom of Solomon 9:1. O power, O God of my fathers, and Lord of mercy, who have made all things with thy word. And that's deep, because Yahweh Shai is known as the word. Excuse me. Yahweh Shai is known as the word of life. And Yahweh had used Yahweh Shai to create everything. Verse 2 says, and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, and ordered the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. See, so this wisdom, knowledge, understanding of these scriptures, the true way to walk, it comes from on high. It comes from the fourth dimension. It's divine. It's divine. It's not something that is sitting on a shelf and you could just purchase it with dollars or coins or land or cattle. You can't purchase it with that. This is something that's given unto the elect. And this is something that was given to them before they even knew they were going to receive it. But I'm going to keep going. It says, give me the wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. For I, thy servant and son of thine handmaid, am a feeble person, and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Thou hast chosen me to be a king of thy people, and a judge of thy sons and daughters. Solomon just basically said, if a man don't got your wisdom, he ain't shit. And Solomon is speaking from a humble perspective, from a very, very humble, humble perspective, humble standpoint. It says, thou hast commanded me to build a temple upon thy holy mount, and an altar in the city wherein thou dwellest, a resemblance of thy holy tabernacle, which thou hast prepared from the beginning. And wisdom was with thee, which knoweth thy works, and was present when thou madest the world. And he knew what was acceptable in thy sight, and right in thy commandments. O send her out of thy holy heavens, and from the throne of thy glory, that being present she may labor with me, that I may know what is pleasing unto thee. For she knoweth and understandeth all things, and she shall lead me soberly in my doings, and preserve me in her power. See, this is what our prayers should sound like. When we crying out to the Lord, this is what our prayers should sound like. And the Lord is gonna reward who He rewards, man, at the end of the day. But we just gotta pray and hope. We gotta believe our prayers will be answered without doubting. Without doubting, that's the key. That's a big part too. It says it in James. Pray without wavering. Let me see. Let me keep on reading a little bit. It says, so shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge thy people righteously, and be worthy to sit in my Father's seat. For what man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. And for the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthy tabernacle weigheth down the mind, that muses up many things. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us, but the things that are in heaven, who has searched it out? And thy counsel, who has known, except thou give wisdom, and send thy Holy Spirit from above? For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. So this thing that Solomon was talking about, praying of, we in these last days pray for that, so we may be saved through wisdom. That's the edge, or that's the advantage that we have over the rest of the world. We ahead of the game, so to speak, and it'll be a shame for us to fall victim of the wiles of the devil. And I was just watching one of the elders do a video, just talking about the wiles of the devil and how to fight it. We fight it through wisdom. And our wisdom is these scriptures, so we just gotta apply it. Pray for that wisdom and apply that, man. So I just wanted to bring that out real quick. I pray and hope this was edifying. I want to give praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.